Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so another update on the VFR800. It's been off the road for about a month and a half, 2 months, something like that. What happened was I went to take it out to go to work one morning a couple of months ago, whenever it was, and basically the throttle return cable snapped. I was trying to warm up the engine and I revved it a little bit, and then the throttle went back and the revs just went right up, and I wasn't sure what happened, so I turned it off and I went and took the Yamaha, which is over there under its cover, to work, and I've been using the Yamaha ever since. Basically what happened was the throttle return cable snapped, so I got a new return cable off eBay for about a tenner, and I tried to fit it and I basically couldn't fit it because it didn't seem to be long enough. So what I did was removed the old one, obviously the return cable, put in the new one, connected it up at this end. I couldn't get it to connect up at that end, so what I did was I took the wee bracket off, got it to connect, but then I couldn't get the bracket back on again because it was like half an inch too far. The hole wouldn't line up, it was like half an inch away, and it seemed that the cable was too short. So basically I couldn't work out how to get it all together. I tried different things, all sorts of different things, take it apart at that end and what have you, and I couldn't get it together at both ends at the same time. Cable just didn't seem to be long enough. Don't think it was anything to do with the routing. I routed it the same way as the old ones. As you can see, it goes around the front of that fork leg and through that fork leg and under the chassis, and up to about here. It connects on just under the tank, sort of just between the tank and the chassis, kind of in there. So basically I wasn't able to use the bike for the last couple of months because I couldn't figure out how to fix it. I actually tried to sell the bike for spares and repairs because I just got pissed off with it. So basically what I've done now is I've managed to fix it. I decided I was going to have another go today, so I got the tank up and I fiddled around with each end, sort of took it apart at each end and connected it back up again, and was having the same problem. Right, so basically in the end what I did was, see if I can describe this. I can't really show you because I put the tank back on, but I'll try and describe it. So there's like a little T-piece here, it's like a bracket, bolts on like that, and it's got bits like that, and it's got like a hook and a hook. Okay, and the cables come from this direction, the sheath comes from the front, and it bolts onto each of the hooks, the return cable below and the throttle cable above. Okay, so, and they have a nut, it has like a nut that goes either side of the T-piece, like an adjuster nut, and the idea is that you adjust both the adjuster nuts onto this T-piece. So what I realised was I could give myself a bit more length by moving one nut to the other side, because obviously I had everything wound in as far as it would go and the cable still wasn't long enough. That was the problem. Okay, so what I did was I took the nut that's on the sheath side of the bracket and I moved it, I adjusted both nuts right down to the end, near to the end, so I moved them both to that side, put the cable back into the T-piece and then adjusted both lock nuts down on the same side, so you had like sheath up to there, sheath and then bracket and then two nuts and then bare thread, obviously. And I did that with both of them, and what that did was it gave me about basically the thickness of the nut. So each nut was maybe about 1/4 of an inch thick, so if you've got 1/4 of an inch there and 1/4 of an inch there, that's half an inch in total. So then the whole bracket moved back and I was able to get the screws in. So I don't know if that makes a lot of sense just from my description. I suppose what I probably should have done is left the tank up and shown you, but I've bolted the tank back down now, as you can see. But now the bike is running again, which is good. So I think I'm going to take it out for a run. I'll just fire it up just now. I've just given the engine a wee run because it's not been run for about 2 months. I just went for a little spin round the car park. Right, here we go. So It's in neutral. There we go. So that's it running. The engine sounds not too bad, considering it's not been run for a little while. Right, so that's it basically, so it's now running again, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take it out for a run this afternoon. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I'll go somewhere, just go for a little run around the local roads or whatever. Just because I've not used it for a while, just make sure that everything's kind of working properly and that. So I'll maybe do a motor vlog of that as well, which I'll upload later. Alright, that's grand. Thanks very much for watching.